Bud Light has just placed that VP of marketing who pushed for the Dylan Mulvaney beer can, just placed her on leave. This is Alissa Heinerscheid, not to be confused with sweet little Alissa. There's a huge variety among Alissas around here. Alissa Heinerscheid, VP of marketing at Bud Light, will for now be replaced by Budweiser Global Marketing VP Todd Allen, according to Anheuser-Busch InBev telling Ad Age. But she's just on leave. She hasn't been fired. She's laying low for a little bit. Even this is indecisive. This reminds me of an old political principle, which is sometimes a wrong decision can be better than indecision. Here, since the Dylan Mulvaney controversy, Budweiser doubled down on the sponsorship, then pretended it didn't know anything about the sponsorship, then made an advertisement about horses or something, then issued an apology letter where there was no apology, and it was just the Budweiser CEO talking about how much he supports the military or something. And then they can sort of continue to double down. And anyway, now they're putting the VP on leave, but I don't know. It's very, very indecisive. And it's harming them immensely. I think they could have survived it if they would just shut up, but they can't do it. So they lose $6.5 billion in market cap, and now lots of bars won't even carry their beer. And now you've got Kid Rock just shooting machine guns at boxes of Bud Light because of how outrageous the ideology is. And now it's going to be hard for them to recover. Had they been decisive, they either could have doubled down and said, yep, we're now the pro-trans beer, and plenty of companies have done that and survived. Or they could have said, nope, this is insane. We support frat boys and construction workers, which is the actual customer base of Bud Light. But that indecision has given them the worst of both worlds. Speaking of the public turning public opinion, and speaking of Governor DeSantis, great news out of Florida. 41% of Floridians support Ron DeSantis' new 6-week abortion ban. Now, there are going to be some people who say 6-week abortion ban. What about the babies 0 to 6 weeks? I know, I agree. Abortion is wrong. It's wrong to murder people, especially wrong to murder innocent little babies. And so, yeah, it's wrong. And we should just get rid of abortion totally. There are plenty of other alternatives to abortion. Abortion solves no problems. It does not rectify any crimes. It's just a crime in and of itself. Totally agree. But you see DeSantis now just starting to ratchet it up a little bit. Okay, we got this ban, now we got a 15-week ban, now we're going to go to a 6-week ban. The great news here is that the public seems to be going along with him. At no point, as Charlie Cook points out at National Review, at no point in the history of Gallup polling did Gallup find 41% support for a ban on abortion before 12 weeks. In fact, support for abortion used to be much, much higher. He says, if we average out the responses that Gallup obtained between July 1996 and May 2022, we see that 64% of Americans believe that abortion should generally be legal in the first 3 months of pregnancy. And now you've got 41% saying it shouldn't be legal after 6 weeks. So this is one of these few issues on which the public has become much more pro-life. Well, it's obviously, this is the one issue in which it's become more pro-life. But this is one of the few issues in which the public has moved much, much more into our corner. And you're seeing that play out in real time. And you're seeing the evidence of that because conservative legislators and governors are pushing these kinds of bills. Reminds me of a line from Cardinal Manning, which is that there is a day to come that will reverse the confident judgments of men. We live in this ever-present, or we think that we live in an ever-present, where nothing is ever going to change. The way things are right now, that's how they're always going to be. That's not true. That's not how time works. That's not how history works. Progressives think history works in this totally straight fashion from bad olden days to good future days, where they're going to get rid of all the conservatives and they're going to live in a utopia. That's also not how history works. Sometimes the confident judgments of men will be reversed. Sometimes the advancement of history sees people moving more and more over to our views, the sane views of things. It's a reminder, too, of a line that's alternately credited to Dean Inge and Fulton Sheen, which is that if you wed yourself to the spirit of the age, you will find yourself a widow in the next. It's a lesson to all those squishy Republicans. Don't just buy into whatever you think is popular or fashionable or inevitable. Don't do it. Buy into what is right. This is what DeSantis said on the trans issue. He said, look, he said basically exactly what I just said. He said, if you are going to force this issue on us, you're telling me I've got to live according to lies. You're telling me that I've got to participate in a lie. I'm not going to do that. If you pursue the truth, it might make you unpopular at any particular moment, but you're going to be in a much better position in the long run. Right now, go to goodranchers.com, use promo code Knowles. If you've not changed the way that you buy meat yet, you really need to. I'm going to give you 3 reasons that I personally subscribe to Good Ranchers. Number 1, Good Ranchers is giving you free bacon for a year. That's 1.5 pounds of bacon in every box. That's a $240 value. Second, Good Ranchers offers a price lock guarantee, which is insane when we've got record inflation. It means that when you subscribe, your price does not change for the entire length of your subscription. When the price of meat is expected to increase by another 4.5% in the coming year, this could be a huge savings for you and your family. Third, Good Ranchers meat is unlike any other. They're all natural burgers, USDA prime steaks, and better than organic chicken will change your standard for great meat. I am very particular when it comes to my food, okay? I am easily satisfied by the very best. Good Ranchers is far and away the best out there. The quality of the meat is just insane, and I eat Good Ranchers, if not for the outright majority of my meals, total 3 meals a day, at least for the plurality of them, okay? I just adore Good Ranchers. GoodRanchers.com, use code Knowles, KNWLES, for $20 off your box. Free bacon, great meat, a secure price, and a bonus $20 off today. Promo code Knowles at GoodRanchers.com. GoodRanchers.com, American meat delivered. So we got some big news, baby. We got a new candidate in the race for president. That candidate, Larry Elder.
My announcement, Tucker, is that I'm announcing that I'm running for the presidency of the United States on your program. And thank you so much for giving me this honor and this platform.
Of course.
My website is elderforpresident.com, elderforpresident.com. And Tucker, the reason I'm doing this is because, my father was a World War II vet. He served on the island of Guam. He was a Marine. First black Marines. They were called Montford Point Marines. My late older brother Kirk, was in the Navy during the Vietnam era, and my little brother Dennis actually served in Vietnam in the Army. I'm the only one who didn't serve, and I don't feel good about that. I feel I have a moral, a religious, and a patriotic duty to give back to a country that's been so good to my family and to me, and that is why I'm doing this, Tucker.
Well, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Now, Larry has been signaling that he's interested in running for president in recent months. So now he's coming out, he's doing it, he is entering the field. His explanation is a fairly standard conservative explanation, which is, I want to serve, if my country calls on me, I'm going to do it. And Larry Elder's a very popular guy on the right. So the reason that Larry's announcement to me is so interesting is because Larry is something of an anomaly in the Republican field right now. Larry's always been something of an anomaly. It's LA guy, sage from South Central, who's quite right-wing. But he's something of an anomaly here in that the field is winnowing, okay? The field which initially we were told no one's going to run for president. Trump enters, he's going to clear the field. Then Trump enters and not everyone cleared the field. Some people started announcing, so then conventional wisdom said, everybody's going to run for president. And that was briefly true. Everybody was talking about running for president. Everybody was exploring running for president. And then Ted Cruz said he wasn't going to run. And then, at least he's signaled that he's not running. I don't know that he's explicitly come out and said, I am not running for president, but he does not appear to be doing the things that a candidate would be doing. I'm not even playing coy, since we hosted a show together for 3 years. It just doesn't seem like he's running in 2024. Mike Pompeo came out and explicitly said, I'm not running in 2024, even though he had been strongly signaling that he would. Mike Pence, it remains a little bit uncertain. Who else? A lot of the big guys seem to be sitting this one out because the field looks right now like a two-man race. You've got Vivek then enters, Nikki Haley enters, Tim Scott enters. Maybe you get another candidate. Chris Christie is making some signals that he'll run. Chris Sununu is making some signals that he'll run. Asa Hutchinson, I guess, has declared that he's running. People haven't talked about that very much. Joe Exotic, of course, from Tiger King. But in terms of the really top-polling, top-tier candidates, it seems like it might be a more modest field than a lot of people say, and Larry Elder might have a spot on that debate stage. It's Music Monday, baby. We got to get to it. The rest of the show continues now. You don't want to miss it. Become a member and use code Knowles at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. DailyWire.com/Knowles, code Knowles.